wakes up, you know, the flavor won't wakes up to give you the flavor from the brisket. Yeah. So the thinner the thinner the better. Yeah. So now,
basically the name of the game is extraction. You're trying to harness as much flavor as you can out of that protein. So basically, when you're dumping it the first time, it's taking all the imperfections and periods out. When you bring it back up with the cold water, you want to just go real low until it comes up to a boil. As soon as it comes up to a boil, just drop that down to a simmer and just let it go. You want it to pull all that flavor out of the bones. That's why you wouldn't want to put this in right now, because you're going to overcook it. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to cook this just so you can use it at the end when you're actually considering.
oh, this one, okay.
It's a pretty complicated situation, so if anybody has any questions, we can just keep, you know, your stuff, everything.
Okay, so I thought I cannot put this there. Okay, so now you have the white onions and ginger roasted. You can put it aside, and now we start the other herbs. But in the meantime, you still cook this one. I'm going to pass this around to let you smell the flavor, the aromatic from the onions and ginger. And in the meantime, I'm going to get
If you're making veal sauce or anything, you do the exact same thing. So you would take all your bones, you would roast the veal sauce, get all that tar on there. Then you would start with your cold water, and you would dump it, and bring it back up, and then start your extraction process. This process is like a 2-day process. You know what I'm saying? When we make it at the restaurant, it's a 60-gallon kettle. So it is kind of hard to make it on a small scale like this. You can do that.
Okay, so on here I have the cinnamon stick. So for this recipe, this is this much you need, because if you have it too much, it will be make the broth really dark and it's bitter. So I put on here cinnamon, and this one the hole may be too big for the cloves. So cloves you don't have to. If you cannot roast it, you can roast it in the skillet. And then this is star anise. Thank you, Linda. And these are star anise. Smell beautiful. I will let you smell it again. I love the herbs because it has like very unique flavor. So the little one here like needle is this cloves, yeah. And this one is star anise. I'm going to pass around, and then you can pass around and then smell it. Okay, so I have the cinnamon on the stove right here, and I'm going to have the star anise. You know, with these 3 ingredients, will make a beautiful, flavorful pho broth. You don't need a ton of it, because sometimes people tend to get so complicated, you know. But the complex of all the herbs, it will mix up, and then you just cannot tell. So you get just the main ingredient. That's just enough. You know, sometimes less will be more. Yeah. Because these are beautiful. I don't want, you know, more distraction from another flavor, from another ingredient. Okay, so for this, I'm going to put in the little pins.
So the same thing with like these herbs, you wouldn't want to put these in at the beginning. Does that make sense? Because you want to use this as kind of like a sachet or a roti garni, you know, like with sauce or shoots or anything. So this is like right at the end. Because if it's hot, let it sit in there for like 45 minutes, something like that, take it out, and then dip. If this sits in that broth for too long. And it's going to get less kind of irony because these are like real hearty.
Okay. So I have this one grill. Eventually you will smell the flavor. Yeah. So star anise. Star anise is much smaller, so it's burned really fast. So you pay attention. So you take that out first, and then I have this one almost done, and I'm going to turn this off. So it's really, really good. Yeah. You don't have to burn it because when you burn it, it gives you the black finish, and then the broth will be really dark. So we have that one done. Do you smell it yet? Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? So once when you smell the flavor, I'm going to turn it off. Okay, so we have the bone, we have the brisket, we have the herbs, we have the garlic, ginger and onions. And another ingredient that I would like to add to the beef pho, that's what we serve at the restaurant. This is the eye round. It's really tender beef that it's optional. If you like it, you can add to your pho. If you don't, you stay with the brisket, you are fine. Or you can, add vegetable, whatever vegetable you like. So I bring it here, a little bit of the eye round to show you. And then I will show you the way that we prepare a bowl of pho. Okay, so this is the eye round. When I bought, this will be this big. So I just trim a little portion and then I freeze them so that it's easier for me to slice. We have the meat slicer at the restaurant, so we slice. It's come out very, very nice thickness. But here we don't have the meat slicer, so I'm just give you a sample. But we really slice some at the restaurant for serving tonight. So we just slice some of this, and then we put it on the plate. So while you wait for the broth, because the broth takes a long time to cook, so in the meantime, you have plenty of time to prepare all the stuff like grilling, toasting the herbs, and slicing the meat. So I think for the beef pho, when you cook, I don't think you can eat it right away because it takes a long time to cook. So the best is for serving the next day. So if you somehow plan to have the pho to serve your guests, your friend, make sure you cook the day before so that you can get, the beautiful broth with the solid flavor. Then you just cook for a few hours and then you serve. This won't be the best result. So this is too thick. So if you slice this thick, it's really hard. But somehow if you do, you just slice a thin slice like that. So this is better. Because this one, we serve it like half rare. The way I say half rare, because when we serve, we put the rare meat in the bowl. It's really tender, so it's cooked really fast. And when you slice really thin like this, the hot broth will cook it, and it tastes beautiful in your bowl of pho. So when you slice enough, whatever amount you want, you just slice it up and then place them side by side next to each other, and you wrap with the plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator. And then when you're ready to serve, you have it, and then you put it on it fast and well prepared. So that's what we do. And the good thing about the broth is whatever scrap meat that you have, like this scrap or the brisket, when you slice them thin, you have a little piece that you cannot slice anymore. put it back in the broth. So the broth have a lot of flavor. Yeah. So I'm going to put this away. So now we have the herb toasting. We have the bones cooking. So in real life, this is in class, so we just condense the time a little bit. But in real life, you cook this one for 2 hours. And then you drop this piece of brisket in there, set the timer for 1 hour first, and then you come back and taste the meat. And then while it's cooking like that, you prepare the other meat and put in a tray, ready for serving. And when the alarm goes off, you take the brisket out and do the same thing, plunge it in the ice cold water, freeze it, portion it small like this. So when you slide, it's really easy. You don't have to slide a big piece like this, and then you wrap it really nice like that, so it won't get freezer burn. And so before you slide this one, you take it out of your freezer for like an hour, so it's soft a little bit, so it gives you some, you can slide easier than like solid piece of ice. So it's like that. You put everything like your duck in a row, right? And then back to your pot. You're still cooking with this pot. You can cook it for 4 hours, to get a lot of flavor come out the bones. For 4 hours is good enough, but I would love, if you like it, you can cook in the pressure cooker. Let it overnight. When you first started, you started high and then lower the temperature, so the broth won't get cloudy. And then you just in the pressure cooker, you can cook overnight, and then the next morning you come back, you add the onions. The grilled onions, grilled ginger, roasting herb, you put it in there, and for the last 30 minutes. And then you will start putting rock candy. Is it rock candy or rock sugar? You put rock sugar in there, just enough amount, and just a little bit of salt, and let it cook for 30 minutes, and then you turn off the stove, and then you will drain just the broth. You use the very fine filter. You drain the all the little herb on there, and then you get the really clear broth. You can have just a little bit enough if you want to eat it right away, and then put the rest into the freezer. And then when you get the broth done, I'm going to show you how to prepare a bowl of pho. Okay, so we got the broth done. Do I miss anything? Do you have any question? I think that is the tradition. We don't know why. I think the reason we use the rock candy is because it takes a long time to let the sugar dissolve, and the rock candy somehow the way they make it, it's really light. It doesn't have a lot of sweetness like the other sugar. Yeah. I still have the same question, why rock candy versus with the regular sugar. But we always cook the pho with the rock candy. I think because of the sweetness of it, and then because of the texture, the formula of it worked well for the pho. Because if you put too much seasoning in here for a long time, the broth will turn a bit sour. Because the reaction of the salt and the sugar. Yeah. So now we serve this the pho broth on our pho noodle. It's a rice noodle, so it's really low amount of carbohydrate. Is everything okay? Yeah. So for the bowl of pho, we have this is a rice noodle, and then you can get at the place that I give you. It's called Viet Hoa. At the supermarket, this is fresh. It's not dry noodle, so it's fresh. It doesn't take a long time to cook. So you use a strainer like this, or at home, when I cook just a little bit, I don't need a big strainer because it will be too much. So in a little pot, I cook at home. I have like just this much of the water, and then when the water boil, I just drop enough amount of the noodle I want to eat, and I just drop it in there. I stir. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10. You take it right out because it doesn't take long time, and the water don't have to be like boiling all the time. As soon as it's boiled, you drop the noodle, you turn off the heat, and then you stir a few times. You count until 10. You take it out. You drain the water. You set it in a bowl, and then you put sliced brisket, thin slice. What do you call? Like this.
Around.
Yeah, this is the brisket when we slice, like thin slice. It's like that. We put together like that for the pho, and then this is the eyebrow slide. Yeah, just do you mind to go to show them how we cut it? Like bring the tray to the table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have a layer of the first layer is the noodles, right? And then for protein we have the beef because we have the beef pho. But if you like the beef broth, but you like to add a chicken. Like you boil the chicken breast, you can use that chicken breast for your pho as well. Or if you like tofu, you can put tofu in there. If you like mushroom, vegetable, you just put it in there. And then we top with this is raw onions. We cut really thin, and this is green onion, scallion. I chop it really good. And on top, and then we serve with this is a fresh bean sprout and a few leaves of basil. And if you like it more spicy or more flavorful, really bold, you can add hoisin sauce or sriracha sauce in your broth. This is sriracha, it's a spicy, and this is hoisin. It's heavily sweet and salty taste, but it's really, really good. But I prefer my pho broth just the way it is because I like to taste the pure flavor of the broth. I don't want another ingredient in my broth. Yeah. So now we are prepared to have the pho. All right. So we're going to submerge the noodles in the hot water. Do we have one? Do you have any questions so far?
We were just discussing, the easy way to go is we're just going to find a problem at the restaurant.
Yeah. It's fun to cook if you like to experience cooking the pho because, the name cooking pho is really intense to somebody say, a lot of people think it's really hard to cook the pho broth, but it's not really. It's just time consuming. Yeah. So I have the hot water over here. So I'm going to do. Okay. So Nancy and Jerry portion this for me. So you get the right amount of noodle you like, and then you put it in the hot water like that because this is small amount and the broth is really hot. So I just make it like. I think I count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7. Okay. Ooh. This is not a real strainer. Okay.
You want me to pour it off?
Okay, hold on. This is too big, so it's get everything fall out now. Okay, I put this one in here. I'll do it again. You know what? Let me see if I can find a strainer.
Smaller
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You don't think that one could work?
No, that is really. Okay, we just do the best we can. You know, sometimes I realize that it's not fun. It's not fun to be short because sometimes it's really a challenge for me in the kitchen. I cannot reach, or sometimes the pot is too deep. I say, "Oh my God!" So it takes me longer time to navigate in my kitchen when I cook when I'm too short. Okay, so I have the noodle cooked. Yeah. All right.
Look at that.
And the next thing go in will be the brisket, the eye round. Brisket is cooked, the eye round is rare. So I'm going to put it in here. I just want to make sure you have enough protein because this bowl is so tiny. But if you want a second round, please come up and then we get you more.
It's very cute.
Really nice, huh? Good job. Thanks to Jed. Jed slide the meat for me today. And he cuts all the vegetable. I think now we can start doing. Yay! Okay. White onions. Green onions. Who's in the class that doesn't like onions? Good.
Let's do like
Okay.
already cooked together.
Who doesn't like bean sprout? No? Okay. So a little bit bean sprout on the top to get the crispy texture. And then I just garnish with the basil and a little bit of black pepper. Thank you, Jess. All right. So again, when I cook the big pot of broth, I don't put 100% of the amount of the seasoning that I want to come in here. I always taste them when I heat it up and serve it, so it stays fresh. So I'm going to taste the broth right now.
So basically, you're making a base when you actually make this. This is your base, and then when you actually go to cook it and you strain it all off, you're gonna go back and then start fine tuning it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it needs a little bit more anise, it needs a little bit of this. Like, so that's how we do it, basically.
Well, I think I will need this. Really, really nice. I will add just a little bit of the chicken bouillon in there. I think I lost salt. Where is my salt? Oh, salt. Oh, thank you, Jess. Okay, just a little bit more of salt. Voila. Okay. All right. So now it's ready to serve, and I'm going to pour the really hot broth on my soup. Make sure your broth is really hot to be able to cook the eye round, the rare. Yay!
All right, so we just want to make them all, and then we'll just put the broth on all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Who want to try this first one? Yay! Thank you, Nancy. Be careful, it's hot, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So now we will start serving the pho. Yes, you're fine. Okay, here you are. I think I took the wrong one.
It's okay. We'll make it work.
Or you want to topping and then I do this one. It's easier for you.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Jess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I make sure that the water come out completely because if you have a lot of water, the broth will be diluted. Okay.
Here you go. Put all these on here, and then we'll put all the sugar on there.
So it's time consuming, huh? So do you know what? Would you please tell me what time it is now? I need to watch my. I'm sorry. 9. Oops. Okay. So I will let Nancy and Jess take care of this. Can you do that? Yep. And then I go to the last one. Well, last but not least, I would love to share this ingredient with you all. This is my mom's ingredient, my mom's avocado smoothie. So it's really, really simple. All we need is avocado, milk. I use almond milk, and thank to Chip. A while back, Chip told me about the oat milk. He made it from scratch at home, and I tried that ingredient with the smoothie. Oh, it's beautiful. But because I don't have time to do that, so I just use the almond milk instead, and then I use yogurt to get some texture. You can choose any milk you like, any yogurt flavor you like, but I stay with the plain one because I want to reserve the avocado taste and flavor. And then a little bit condensed milk for the sweetness. I don't use the sugar because the sugar doesn't have the milky taste.
Sweet condensed milk or just plain?
Sweet. Yeah, the condensed milk, it gives you the sweetness. So you can add more condensed milk if you like it really sweet. And then ice. That's it. Okay, let's start it. Okay. All right. So this is the coconut yogurt that I use because nowadays people try to stay away from dairy product. So this is the best I can do, but I still use the condensed milk for the sweetness. So that's the only dairy product that I use in this recipe. Again, have all of your duck in a row. And I will get some ice. I'll be right back. No, you stay right there. It's okay, Nancy. I did know I go over the hour. It's already 9 o'clock, right?
But it's rice. It's very temperamental, and for us to keep any kind of consistency at all, this is the way to do it. Just like a couple seconds here and there, but just a mush.
Okay. So in your blender, you will start with the order milk, the liquid first, and then fruit, and then ice. So that it give you because if you put ice in here, it takes too much power to process. So it's always good to have the liquid and the soft on the bottom and then the ice on top. So I'm going to have the...
Now, that being said about these noodles, you're going to store them in your refrigerator.
Okay. What we're looking at is the fresh.
Definitely, yes. Hard cooked is what I was going to say.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. It can be done. Like, you can just buy vermicelli and you can do it. You're probably not sure. I'm just saying.
And I put yogurt.
Yeah, vermicelli just literally means thin.
So that's not like Italian to me.
Yeah.
Everything else is like French and
Definitely.
so I still have to like where that came into it. So it just makes totally.
And I just 3/4 of it in there. So it's a little bit. I do. Yep. Yeah, at the Asian. At the
Yeah.
SPF one.
And you can find the noodle at the refrigerator section. Yeah. So I put the avocado third.
How long could you keep a bag like that?
One more time.
How long could you keep a bag?
You know, if you open it,
Yeah.
you close. If you open the seal, you put in a container, and then you have a lid. You know, just stay off the air, so it won't get dry out, and it keep the freshness. And always refrigerate it. All right, condensed milk. So on the Vitamix, when you turn under the setting for smoothie, you just let it run and then it turn off by itself. But on your blender, you run it for like about a minute or less, and then you taste it to see if the sweetness is enough for you, and then you finish it up and then run another minute. And if you want to add more, you add more. If not, just let it running. So I'm going to taste a little bit. I like it really light like that, but I think you guys probably want a bit sweeter. So I'm going to add just a little bit of condensed milk. All right. I'm so sorry we run out of time, so I have to serve this one before the pho. The pho takes so long. It's time consuming. If you don't mind. Okay. Sometimes I eat dessert before I eat my meal.
Do we have what? Basket like he's using for the noodles?
The strainer, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We do have that.
All right. It has a very beautiful color, you can tell. Yes, please. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sure. Everybody's working so hard.
Thank you. How is it? Yeah? Thank you. You know, if you want a little bit thicker, you can add more ice because I give you the thickness. And I'm going to make a second batch. Give me some feedback. What do you think? Yeah? Thank you.
Yeah. The texture is very, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
between like something you would drink with straw and something you would put spoon.
Yeah. You know, if you use the straw, use a really big one. Yeah. Really smooth, huh? That's what they call smoothie. And especially avocado. It's buttery. That's what I like. Yeah. Especially, you know, if you grow up or live in Vietnam, you know, all smoothie, all cold dessert will be the best because it's so hot over there. Yeah. It's humid, hot and humid sometimes. It's really easy. It's not hard, right? You can make it at home all the time. And you know, avocado is a really good sort of fat.
Kids would like it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what, I was gonna get those plates under there. Let me do this.
There you go.
I'll be back with the ice. Run out of time. Nice job.
Jesse, we missed one here, but that's okay.
Please be careful. It's very hot, y'all.
Every time we cut out one fish, it's always stuck. And I always do something else. But the amount of work.
I think this is the avocado season because avocado is so beautiful.
You want to hold it on the big one, right?
These people are kind of getting you know, I'm sorry if you time.
It's so good.
Yeah, this is for sweet. This is like Korean barbecue sauce. It's a little bit sweeter. This is spicy.
You know what? All right, second batch.
Got them all?
Yeah, now we're going to put this. No, we have only half. Yeah.
Making sure the triangle is still on there.
All right, thank you, Jess.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You bet. You can have whatever you want.
That's fine. Okay. Where are these going?
Huh? Yeah, for whoever doesn't get yet.
We haven't got them. I thought they don't.
No, only half. Only half. Yeah.
You can go eat your soup. It's got cool name. It's got cool name, yeah. Yeah, you eat some. I think everybody loves everything.
Yeah.
Of course, what's not to love?
Thank you, Linda. You got to try the smoothie. It's so good. Yeah. Okay, I need to.
Okay.
Thank you, Linda.
All right.
See my last one you brought? They good?
Nancy, would you please bring it to Chip for me? Thank you, Nancy.
Does he want some soup too? Paul?
No, no, he just eat just a little bit. Do you get your avocado?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well,
For the French bread, where's a good place to buy the rolls of McNuggets?
well,
Does that store sell those?
you can get them at Sam's, but we do have the toaster oven. We bake the bread in house, but right now my toaster was broken, so I have to get from different source. Yeah, from my food vendor.
Okay. And then that vinaigrette that we made, or you made, is it the same vinaigrette that you use for the noodles?
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah, yeah. On the recipe here, I put the vinaigrette, but it's simple. We call fish sauce. Yeah, yeah. It's really easy. You can eat with everything. That fish sauce. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or you can chop just like a lettuce, and then you toss it on there. You're good to go. You don't have to take a lot of time and chop like cabbage. Yeah, it's really versatile. So how's everything? Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna come down and eat at the restaurant tomorrow.
Yes, please. Yeah. So, for the smoothie, do you think the sweetness is good enough, or you want a little bit more sweet? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is my favorite smoothie. Sometimes I make with strawberry, the same thing. You just change the fruit that you like. Sometimes I make strawberry. Sometimes I make with raspberry. Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah.
Any questions? Don't be shy. Anything. No.
If you want to do the lemongrass for the chicken, do you basically do the same thing? You marinate it in the same.
Yeah, with the recipe for the grilled pork marinating sauce, you can use that same for chicken. Yeah, you just put the chicken in there and then soak it for like few hours or overnight. Yeah, the chicken is really quick, so you don't have to marinate for like over the night or something. Just like 2 hours at least. Yeah. Do anybody have questions so far? The recipe, the way it's made. Well, I'm glad you joined me today, and I hope that you're not very shy to cook at home. You know, sometimes it's the best way to get the family together, to get the beautiful bond, you know, for everyone to come enjoy the food and cooking. Yeah, it's a joy. It's not a burden to me. I love to cook. I love to create. So sometimes if you lock me in the house with the kitchen, I'm okay with that. Yeah, yeah. I love to cook. Like sometimes, you know, back to how I grow up. Like when my mom cooks, sometimes she didn't feel like go to the market. She just opened the refrigerator. Whatever, you know, vegetable we have left, we just, you know, took it out and chop it and then saute and call a meal. Yeah. It's just use your creation, like creativity. You don't have to be like, oh, I have to have the meat. I don't have to have this and that. It's just whatever you have, you just, you know, make yourself a beautiful art, you know, edible art. So it that matter more. Yeah.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. I hope to see you again in the restaurant. And most of the time when you're there, you won't see me because I'm in the back. I run the show, like I do everything. I do the dishes. I wash the dishes. I chop. I cook. I clean the floor. I bust the table. So sometimes when we don't have enough staff, that's what I'm doing. And most of the time I stay in the back and try, you know, prepping and making sauces. And Jess recently come back. He came back and he helped me, you know, to carry on some tasks because we cook fresh and from scratch. So we prep every twice a day. You know, sometimes when I don't have time, I just chop enough vegetable to serve over lunch, and then I have to chop it again if we get really busy. So it's always chopping and prepping in the back of the house. Yeah. So make sure that the food turn out fresh. Yeah. And I do learn a lot from my staff as well. Because, you know, we human beings, we are not, you know, superwoman or superman. I think some will exist, but, you know, not me. So I do learn every day from my staff, from my customer. Because if you don't ask them, you don't know, you know. Yeah, if you think that's good for you, but it's not good for them, and you don't learn anything. Yeah, always feedback, always good to me. So I take feedback as the positive thing, because with feedback, you improve. No feedback, you don't know where to improve, and you don't even know. So if you have any feedback, if you don't like the food, say, hey, Jessica, I think this one a little bit too salty, and then I correct it. Yeah. Yeah, so you will be my mirror, you know, so I can see it. You know, without a mirror, I don't see what I look like, so I don't know how to fix myself, right? So thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.